Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Steve here from the Warped Zone, and it's been quite a while, and I figured, what better way to ring in my Let's Plays again by kind of going back to the only other Let's Play I've done, which is a Donkey Kong Country game. Except this time, instead of doing the very first Donkey Kong Country, we're gonna go ahead and do the very latest, which is Tropical Freeze on Switch, and it's as you can see, I've got a couple games started here already. Just kind of test out the new controls with the Joy-Cons and mess around with Funky Kong and see what's what here. But yeah, first of all, I just want to say the game looks very vivid, colorful, and pretty here. It's not a huge leap from the Wii U version, but in particular, if you were used to playing on your crappy Wii U screen, it definitely looks a lot better. So as you can see right off the bat here, the biggest selling point for this game is Funky Kong mode, and wait a second here, I just realized we gotta turn this volume down, guys. We're gonna get some mad echo otherwise. Anyway, so yeah, the big selling point for this, aside from the graphical boost, is Funky Kong mode, which essentially works like I guess you can say a handicap mode for lack of a better term, or it's just a dick around mode, if you want to put it that way, in the sense that Funky Kong has 3 additional hearts, right? And he can double jump kind of Dixie Kong style and float on his surfboard. And he's got the ability to jump on spikes with the surfboard underneath him. It doesn't hurt him. So, at the end of the day, it's kind of a way to just blaze through the game with relative ease compared to the prior Country Return games, which, if you've played these games, the Wii U game and the Wii U game, you'll know it's up there in difficulty, man. It gets pretty hard, especially in the later levels. They throw a lot of shit at you, and you would think off the bat it's not too bad. You know what? We're gonna put motion on here because, believe it or not, I've always been a diehard retro gamer and kind of opposed to motion controls. But in this case, I've become accustomed to it to the point where it feels nicer. But yeah, you got 2 hearts for Donkey and 2 for Diddy in the older editions, which seemed like a lot, but man, there was a lot of fast reaction times, like on those minecart levels, and just a lot of ways to die, for lack of a better term. And so you can look at it as this kind of is Retro's response to that, and sort of a way to level the playing field a bit more in favor of the player. But you could make the argument that the game might be too easy, and that's one of the things we're going to play around with and find out just how easy this is. Based off my playthrough, it's so far been super easy. It's been a lot of fun, and this is a great game, but take it for what it's worth. It's more of a just kick back and relax experience now, as opposed to the Wii and Wii U versions of this, which were more white knuckle. Like, oh shit, I gotta be on my A game. But, granted, this playtest I'm talking about from the Switch version was based off the first 2 worlds. So it could get a lot harder. And we got the nice intro here in crisp 1080p for the first time. This looks very Pixar. I guess apparently instead of the Kremlin takeover, now we got a Viking penguin and walrus takeover? Why not, right? It's all just cartoon zaniness. It can be as silly as it wants to be, I guess, right? That's part of Nintendo and Retro's charm. Kongs are kicking back, celebrating a birthday, I guess, with a giant banana cake. Or a banana with frosting glaze over it. So Donkey Kong is 1 year old? They're just too lazy to get more candles. They force you to watch this, which I'm not crazy about. It looks very nice animation-wise, and it's fun to watch, I guess, but I mean, hell, let's be realistic. The story was never at the forefront of a game like this, right? It's all about the experience. So I don't think I speak for myself when I say I just don't care that much. Like, just let me jump in and kick some ass already, right? I guess we got a giant whirlwind of ice just overtaking our island. And thus, the 5th or 6th Donkey Kong Country adventure begins. Well, it's a pretty nice HD rumble, I gotta say. For those of you who don't know, HD rumble is the kind of a selling point and fancy marketing, fancy wording for, I guess you can call it a more refined rumble, in the sense that there's more going on, there's a more of a subtle feel to it, but it also feels more precise in a lot of ways. High definition rumble. Alright, here we are, dudes and dudettes. So, yeah, apparently another thing is Funky Kong doesn't breathe. He doesn't need to run into those bubbles underwater because he can breathe, apparently. I guess he's got the genes of a fish, too. I don't know. He could just do it all. Look at him. He's rolling like a beast. He's super speedy. See, here's the double jump I'm talking about. So it's almost like a little bit of Dixie and Diddy mixed, in that he can kind of just hover in midair. It all feels pretty good. But the thing I gotta say about the hover is, once you are kind of stuck like what I am now in no man's land, you can't do a whole lot mobility-wise. You're just kind of floating there in oblivion. So you kind of have to establish yourself as far as your positioning first, and you can't rely too much on the float. The floating mechanism I feel is more for just if you're falling down a large pit or something and you need to sort of prepare ahead of time and navigate through vertical drops as opposed to horizontal leaps. But the double jump is super helpful. Oh, I got hit already. It happens that fast, see? You can see how, and this is level 1, mind you. 2 hearts, even though it's still 2 hearts for each player, is still more than what you got in the original Donkey Kong countries. You can get hit quick, and before you know it, you're in deep shit. So now we're working with 5. Which works, I think, given the gameplay of this game. And it can be relentless at times. We're not going to see too much of the real crazy stuff go down until maybe World 2, maybe small bits and pieces here in World 1, but they kind of start you out easy. They bring you in for a soft landing. Speaking of which, so I guess his surfboard kind of works like a helicopter too. It's a propeller of a helicopter, but it's the surfboard. He gets around pretty easily and swiftly for a big dude, a big hairy ape. Another thing I want to mention as far as those guys, the puzzle pieces, we're not going to go particularly out of our way to try to nab these. I'm going to make a point to try and get them, but if I miss them, I'm not going to painstakingly go back over and over and try to 100% everything, or even 80%. The puzzle pieces are going to be more if they're in our line of sight and they're doable. We're gonna get them, but this is no 100% walkthrough by any means. So I don't want to mislead you there. This is just a kind of kick back, relax, and check out the differences of the Switch version as compared to the Wii U version. Oh, these little bastards. So, control method-wise, guys, I'm using the 2 Joy-Cons. Just kind of doing separate waggles, almost a little Wii style with the motion pounding. And it feels pretty good, surprisingly. Even though obviously, as you know, there's no D-pad on the Joy-Cons, and I'm not crazy about using face buttons as a D-pad, so I'm opting for a joystick. which for 2D platformers and joysticks don't typically mesh, but it kind of works. It really does. I guess you can call this a 2.5, a pseudo 2D platformer, pseudo 3D, because there's often multiple layers. Well, we're hitting the spikes, but it's okay because I'm on a surfboard. So I think we're supposed to throw this guy into this movable target thing. Yep. Whoa. Radical, dude. To their credit, they throw a lot of bananas at you, so lives are not typically an issue for this game. Although I gotta say, me and my sister play multiplayer a lot, and some of those were like harder rail kart levels in particular. We were burning through lives like nobody's business. Alright, there you have it. Let's see if we didn't miss anything here. Oh, and yeah, yes indeed. Puzzle piece? Righteous. Oh, I missed the fun ground pounding DK symbol there. You get extra bananas. Alright, well hell, we'll take 4 letters and nearly half of the puzzle pieces. 45% of them. This one thing that's interesting to me is the load time difference. It's because, it doesn't seem like much in the scheme of things, but it adds up. And that was pretty fast, so props where props are due. I remember the Wii U game being probably, what was that? We just went through probably 4 or 5 seconds loading time. Wii was probably, 8 seconds at best. Oh, another quirk here. Take a read. You can use 5 items in a level, so you can really rattle them off. And let's see. Yeah, so basically you're given a lot more in your arsenal here at once with Funky Kong. But let's save that for when things get dire. No need for it right now in the dog days of World 1. So yeah, I don't have an exact sort of play-by-play comparison of the load times, but I do feel the Wii U version clocked in at, I want to say, probably 7 to 10 seconds. That was, you saw that, I mean, that was 3 or 4 seconds, so it's pretty solid. Yeah, Funky feels pretty satisfying and fun to play as in a way. He kind of feels like a mix between all of the Kongs in a sense that he's got that big beefy presence like Donkey Kong does, and he can just plow through a lot of things. But he's also got that float move like Dixie Kong, and he's got that sort of hover thing going on like Diddy's jetpack too. Let's go down here and see what's happening. Let's get ourselves a puzzle piece. Why not, right? Ooh. Only thing is I tend to, at least in my test runs, I got a little complacent in this, and I guess I just figured, oh, my surfboard will bail me out of anything, and I actually missed these in a few of attempts that I made. But I knocked it out pretty well there. Practice makes perfect, guys. The game also, as you know, liberally throws banana coins at you, as well as bananas. Oh! No, we can't avoid an obvious puzzle piece in there. Especially with Funky Kong. Oh, maybe it's not a puzzle piece. Alright. Well, more lives are a good thing too. Yeah, so I don't know about you guys, but I'm a diehard Donkey Kong Country fan. It's up there with Mario, at least Super Mario World and Donkey Kong Country 1 and 2 are comparable. When they got to when Rare handed the baton off to Retro, it kind of degenerated into more of a good platformer. I have few beefs with it. It's just not amazing. You know, it's not that classic level that it was in the Super NES age. But I have to say, as far as like, if we're talking, you know, Donkey Kong Country Return series now, this being the third. I mean, it's a rehash of the Wii U game, but it's the third game. This is obviously the definitive version. So if you're into the return stuff, man, and you got a Switch, get this game and go hog wild with Funky. He swims like a freaking Olympic gymnast here. Ooh, check it out. Is there any purpose to this at all? Okay. Nice little trail of banana coins here. Yeah, so the banana coins, those are put towards either those items, the aforementioned items that you can use, bust out in the beginning of the levels. But I'm fairly confident, at least for the first 2 or 3 worlds, that we don't even have to mess around with those. I mean, we're Funky Kong, for God's sakes, come on. Who assembles these things, by the way? Well, I guess you can't get hit by those spikes. Man, oh man, get your shit together. Alright, here we go. Got a little wooden raft with springs attached to inner tubes. Like, what is going on with this? Who puts these together? Puzzle piece? Oh, more bananas. Alright, here we go. We're going for that DK. That sweet DK symbol. Yeah, there we go. Woo! Double digits. How about it? 10 whole packs of bananas. Funky's such a glutton. Well, apparently rattling off 4 puzzle pieces. That's my calling, guys. Gotta break that glass ceiling and make it to 5 next time. Yeah, these load times are pretty solid. I'm digging it. Oh, I suppose we should go to. I'll show you guys who they've replaced Funky Kong with. It's mildly amusing, I guess. we got a parakeet with sunglasses on. Extra life. Sure, why not? Yay. Automatically saves you from falling to your doom. Okay, you know, it couldn't hurt to have one of those. Okay. Oh, these are balloons. This is what I was... So we got extra hearts, apparently. So on top of the 5, we can have an additional heart. I almost just want to get that for the hell of it. Just for shits and giggles, right? We'd be unstoppable. Okay. Apparently, I always forget about these, but... You can get little cosmetic, you know, knickknacks, virtual knickknacks that you can check out in your inventory. Semi-amusing, I guess. How's your Funky impression? I mean, not great. You're a fucking parakeet. Besides the fact that you got sunglasses. And you're running my shop, bro. Why did he entrust his shop to a parakeet? He's got an awful lot of faith in him. Freaking guy's gonna make me go bankrupt. Oh, so one weird thing, random side note. You can play, I don't know if you noticed when I was making the selection, you can play as, like, it asks you who you want to pick, right? In Funky Kong mode. So, me being, you know, curious like I am, I'm like, okay, what the hell is that? What's going on with that? Because I thought this was Funky Kong mode. You can pick Donkey Kong like normal. The difference is he has an additional heart, as does Diddy once you get him, Diddy and Dixie. And Cranky too, by the way. So you still get a sort of steroid boost, but it's just not at the same level as playing as Funky Kong. So I suppose that's sort of a way of meeting in the middle. If you're just thinking, hey, you know, I want a little extra help here, but I don't want this gimmick of walking around with a surfboard that twirls like a propeller, and I want a little more challenge than being able to hop over spikes and such. So I get it, I suppose. It's just struck me as odd, but I guess it's sort of a way of adding yet another variance in the difficulty. Here's where the 2.5D comes into play. Whoa, we're in the background now. It's crazy. I don't know how I was supposed to get into that barrel. Whatever. These spikes are cool. Okay, yeah. Pervious to those too, huh? So, control scheme-wise, one more thing. You can tip a single Joy-Con on its side and play it NES style. That's obviously a good option if you want to play local multi, which you can play 2-player co-op, which I've tried, and it's fun, but it's like, if you have those straps, it kind of beefs up the controller, the Joy-Cons a little bit, so that helps, but the controllers, at least for my money, are so small individually, it's like you just feel like you're playing a controller that's designed for like little people or something. I don't know, man. It's just, maybe I have to play more, log some more time in with those and get used to it. And the fact that, hey, I'm on a surfboard, I can do that easily. The fact that the joystick and the face buttons are so close together when played on its side, it's like everything just feels cramped and it's too small. But hell, you know, if you're like me and you don't care to spend $80 on another set of Joy-Cons for a second player, it's a viable option. It's not unplayable. It's a little janky feeling, and it's something to get used to. Oh, the idea of crawling on a grass like ceiling and then pounding the ground is kind of a mind fuck to me. It's hard for me to get used to that. I still am. After playing and beating both the Wii and Wii U games, it's still hard for me to pull that off with consistency. Well, you know what? We're not doing amazing on the puzzle pieces, but we're getting some stuff done here on the letters at least, right? Give me some credit, guys. Let's just turn into Sonic. Oh, so yeah, apparently, I don't know if this was accessible, this part here, without Funky Kong. But yeah, in Mario World style, we have a secret exit. Whoa! Look at that fur, by the way. It's almost like they're trying too hard with the fur. I appreciate the effort. It's cool how it does have this organic look to it. And you can see the individual hairs, but it's got a blur going on too. I don't know if you guys can see it so much on your end too, but it's like halfway there. They're not quite there yet. We need 4K Nintendo. That's what we need. Sticking with the tried and true alliteration that Rare opted for a lot of times. Canopy Chaos. Anyway, let's go on to, there you go. Busted Bayou. More alliteration. So I feel like we'll save this guy for a crazy boss that's giving us troubles. Yeah, you don't have to warn me about canceling the inventory screen. I appreciate the concern though, Retro. This should be fun. So this is, as you can see, 1B, meaning it's a secret path. So these usually are fun and interesting, especially visually. We got the sort of silhouetted Rayman look going on here. Heyo! I am digging this art style. I don't know about you guys. Very, very limbo. It's very limbo. Oh, see, if I wasn't Funky Kong, I would have ate shit right there. Ooh. Oh. And what did that do? Oh, okay. Oh, alright. Touche, Retro, touche. More bananas. Oh, that stands out. See what I mean about the float? Like, you kind of gain this momentum and then it's just zapped away. Like, boom, all of a sudden, like, you're just floating in midair. You can't do a whole lot. It's like, just drop and try again, I suppose. But it's, with how nimble and quick and nimble, Donkey Kong 64 reference there for you. Like, he feels that way otherwise, so it feels like it clashes with his mechanics. Kind of just brings everything to a halt. Oh, let's see. And just like that, we're only working with 3 hearts, so, you know. This game can get hairy, so to speak, quickly. You can see how that could happen. Whoa! See, like, this is a good time to just kind of hover and take in the happenings around you. Make sure you don't eat shit. Oh, we got it. Oh. Puzzle piece off to this. God damn it. Funky, you're drunk. Funky! Oh my god, that's embarrassing. Wow. Right before the save point, too. See? That illustrates my point. Right there. You just, like, you're stuck and you can't do anything. Well, that's alright. You know, we don't want a complete cakewalk, right? Oh, yeah. Get your shit together, Steve. Okay, so... yeah, it's just... I don't want to keep harping on that, but... like, this kind of craps out. And for the life of me, I can never get the timing of those rolls down, as you probably noticed. I always seem to just... it runs out of juice right into the enemy. Every time. Is there a puzzle piece here? No. Pretty sweet HD rumble. Great graphics. Oh, hell no. We are not missing this twice. I will never know how I managed to fuck that up. And it's on video for the world to see. How embarrassing. Well, you know what? Despite the fact that I'm a diehard Nintendo guy, I'm a diehard Donkey Kong fan, but I'm still only human, you know? I'm only an ape in this game. These things are gonna happen sometimes. Brain farts and such, they're gonna happen. Especially just when I'm rambling on. Apparently I can't walk and chew gum here. Whoa, okay, interesting. Oh! That's just so uncool. So uncool. Alright, we got another shot. There we go. And in typical me fashion, I go on to instantly lose that extra health. Woo! Keep rolling. Keep on rolling, baby. No time. The old silhouetted banana tree. Apparently I was supposed to grab all of those, which I didn't do. Oh, my timing's crap. What do we got here? A rope with a G. Little bastards, get out of here. Yeah. Well, pretty smooth sailing there, aside from that little slip up. Hey, but how about it? We made it to 5 puzzle pieces. Alright. Alright. We're getting there. That's where a good chunk of this difficulty comes from, and is in the fact that if you're really seeking those puzzle pieces, if you want to just lock down all the unlockables, some of those can get tricky to land while beating the levels. Oh, another cool thing, I keep finding little tidbits to mention that I forget that almost elude me. But if you get a letter, right? Say you got a letter and you died. Before, if you didn't have the save point, you'd have to get that letter again. Now it's all in the books. So that's another change from this game. The puzzle pieces always were like that, but now the letters are like that too. So it kind of seems like Retro is just, yeah, they're basically saying, yeah, kick back, guys, just go hog wild. We want you to enjoy our game without the white knuckle, just the rage that this game can induce. But it kind of remains to be seen. I'm curious as to, does that make this too easy? Maybe borderline? But, I mean, hell, I'm still having a good time playing it. Here we go. All about precision. Precision and spot-on timing. Alright, so apparently we're only working with 5 puzzle pieces now. To load off. And here we go. Another homage to the classic Donkey Kong Country games, the old minecart stages. And this game is not shy about tossing a lot of crazy shit at you along the way with these. So these are tough, or at least they get tough. This one's not too shabby, but man, I tell you, well, you'll see, but it gets crazy. You know, if you die, if you fall off a cliff with these, that's it. You're dead. It's not like you don't have 3 to 5 hits. It's one and done, baby. Gotta be on your toes. Your big hairy ape toes. Ooh, close one. Close one. Fuck. Oh! Oh yeah, see, I didn't even notice. Apparently now I'm only working with 3 hearts? Alright. Oh, that was a gimme. Just had to jump a little earlier. Ah. Is that our first missed letter of the game? I feel great shame. Whoa! He's still happy. He's cool. He's an easygoing dude. Oh my god, okay. Cost me another heart, but that's alright. Ah. This goes to 11. Come on. I'm just chock full of references, guys. 3 puzzle pieces out of 5? Where the hell? Where were those other 2 pieces? Whatever. Eat me. I don't care, Retro. Not going through your crazy roller coaster ride again. Oh, there we go, guys. Just like that, we're at the first boss of the game. And this guy isn't too bad, especially with Funky Kong, who can hover on a surfboard. They time those hits quite nicely. Boom. Just knocked some bananas out of him, apparently. Would you stop throwing fish at me? You maniac. Look at those guys just chilling in the background, watching the show. Oh my word, are you kidding? Ah. See, this can get tricky. This can get hairy in a hurry. Hairy in a hurry? Alright, got one of them back. Bring it. Bring it on. Oh, you slippery little bastard. Oh my god. There we go. Back to square one here. Get some riches here. I love the stock Viking helmets they all wear. Surprised he doesn't have a flagon of mead. How do these fish feel about being used like pawns? They can't be too happy. Oh my lord! See, like if I was Donkey Kong, I would have just ate shit there. I would have been dead. Oh my god. What is this maniac doing? What a moron, he just knocked himself out. You know, you did that to yourself, buddy. I had no hand in that. Got nobody to blame but yourself. Boom! Ah! Okay, apparently I'm trying the motion, you know, the pounding motion, and that didn't seem to work. So we'll have to settle for a mere ×1. But, you know, that's alright. Hell, I think we're set. The rate we're going, we're going to be set on lives. Easily. Ooh, there we go. Onwards to World 2. And you know what, guys? We're going to cut it off here. I'm going to keep this, each video, world by world. So we're going to, hopefully, if things go well, going to do one video per environment. So we shall call it a day. And until next time,